I said, I am writing to express my thoughts about the importance of removing the name of former slave owner Hasbrouck off our buildings on campus. It is an indescribable feeling when you must call the name of your oppressor and your ancestors' former owner when you're going to eat. In fact, it is an unnecessary insult. I think SUNY New Paltz has an opportunity to manifest the words of the late, great Maya Angelou, who said, history, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but if faced with courage, need not to be lived again. Allowing a name of a slave owner to be glorified on a campus where all are welcome is dangerous, and it is the brick that holds the door open for unnecessary ignorance to seep through.
To reconcile any and have any discussions we may want to have between them.
Okay. So the Dallas motion is being moved to postpone until our next meeting. Vince?
Yes.
What is your vote? Yes?
Yes.
Robert, what's your vote? Were you able to hear us?
Is this on the motion to postpone?
Correct.
I vote yes.
Ron? Yes. Nadella? Eleanor?
Yes.
And I'll vote no. So the motion carries.
The catalyst for changing the names of the Hasbrouck buildings was largely student-driven. It's gone back in time a fair amount. There have been points where students have been concerned about this going back 20 years or so. There was a specific event that some students point to called the Hasbrouck 8. So I forgot the exact year, but the Hasbrouck 8 were a number of students of color who had been hanging out some in the Hasbrouck dining hall, and they'd had access to a TV. There was a bit of an altercation where somebody said the TV was on too loud. Management just said you need to turn it down, and it turned into an event where somebody called the police. The police from the town showed up, so it wasn't just the New Paltz police, but they showed up from the town. There's a lot of discussion about what actually went down at that point, but one of those students, Daryl, was the one who was working in Hasbrouck who died. So that's one of the reasons why some people make a connection between the naming of the buildings and that Hasbrouck 8.
I was initially hurt when I heard that the postponing of the names would take place. I felt as if this is something that not only was prevalent this semester, but this is something that's been going on for countless years, even before I even enrolled in SUNY New Paltz. So at first, when the first decision came out that the council didn't have enough student opinions, I perfectly understood that decision. That we as a student body have to voice our opinions if we want to make that change. This time around, when there was multiple students giving their opinions and having their voice be valued and having what they said basically go to waste, having this decision to be postponed, it showed as if the administration didn't really value what they were saying. It felt as if they were just having us have this platform so we felt important, but initially that their decision was only up to them and they're going to abide by their own rules.
Some of the reasons that they feel that the building name should not be changed are because of their commitment to the histories that are associated with some of these names. In addition to that, there may be a lot of unawareness with respect to the ways in which these names impact the lives of other individuals that have been marginalized on this campus.
Huguenot family members have a very vast array of historical experiences. One of the questions about the original patentees, too, was whether or not they were specifically themselves slaveholders. It's clear from the history that we did that slavery was an important institution in New Paltz from the early days down until slavery was abolished in New York in 1827. But our research demonstrated that 6 of the original patentees definitely were slaveholders. So basically all of the names except for Lefevre are connected with slaveholders.
Coming to this school without knowing that there was buildings named after slave owners, and when I later did find out, it kind of made me feel as if administration was kind of hiding that fact from colored students. It made it feel as if we weren't being valued the same way as other students. You know, it made it seem like we were just here just to collect student debt, and then that would have been the end of it. I do not think that administration cares about the opinions of colored students. I feel as if through peaceful protests or having council meetings or forums are the ways we're able to express ourselves. But through those ventures, I feel as if our messages aren't being laid out in a proper fashion to administration. Because if it has, I felt as if change would have been made eventually. Because like I said previously, this is something that's been being pushed for years now.
There should be no postponement. I want change now. I want change yesterday. Okay, I want change yesterday. I think that this university deserves change yesterday. I think the students deserve change yesterday. I think the broader social community deserves change yesterday. That being said, things don't happen overnight. So the postponement as a whole, again, I am encouraged by the fact that we are at a deliberative moment right now. So I embrace that deliberative moment, and I'm looking forward to bringing about some productive outcomes.
So, the way I see it, this is the College Council's Abraham Lincoln moment. I hope that they will make a powerful decision to change those names. However, I also recognize I'm just a professor here. It's not my place, it's their decision, and depending on the decision they make, we'll have to go forward from that point.
I feel as if you can never fully erase history, but you can change history. I feel like there's always a positive and a negative when it comes to history. So by changing the Hasbrouck name, it wouldn't erase the negative, but it's to show growth, and it's to show as a community we will not stand for how things were done back in the years of slavery. It's to show growth, and it's to show that we're accepting of what happened in the past was wrong, and this is what we're going to do to correct it. My message to the SUNY New Paltz administration, well, all college administrations that may be dealing with this type of issue, is that at the end of the day, we're all human. Mind you, we all have our different experiences, we have our different values, but at the same time, we're all human beings with our own needs and our own wants. So depending on who you are as a person, as you're at the top of your faculty or you're a struggling college student, there's certain needs and sacrifices that you need to make in order for us to come together and unify as one. So I understand when it comes to being a top of an administration, you have to make certain sacrifices or certain business decisions that everyone may not feel comfortable with, or make decisions that make you seem like you're not for the people or you're a racist individual. I completely understand those positions. But at the same time, as a person in power, as a person that is seen as a leader, you have to make a conscious decision that, yeah, what I'm doing may not be the right thing in terms of my financial outlook for the school, or may not be the right thing in terms of other higher ups, but at the same time you have an obligation to help the student body and to help this campus become what it should be. And as I'm saying before, in terms of diversity or in terms of including people from all aspects of the world, these are the steps that you need to take to help promote those philosophies and to help the student body feel as if that you support them.